PKTT and forklifts and other things?
Chair, I honestly...
Are you no longer sure which affidavit
I cannot
you looked
remember that I saw that, the forklift and the PKTT.
Say that again?
I cannot recall seeing forklift and PKTT.
But do you remember which affidavit you looked at in December 2024? Are you now no longer certain?
Now that you're putting it to me, I can't give you a definitive answer. I don't know which one I saw. This one is the most familiar. Let me put it that way. From having worked with the statement, this has always been the one that has been most familiar, and this is the date I recall.
Because it could be that even the one Mr. Rapezo is referring to also had the same date. So don't focus on the date. Let's talk about the content. What was in that affidavit? Did it make a reference to PKTT and forklifts and other things?
Apologies, Commissioner. I can't recall all that detail.
Thank you.
So I do apologize. I can't recall all the detail.
No, if you can only give, an honest answer, if that's the honest answer.
I cannot recall.
Yeah.
Perhaps, Commissioner.
Ms. Johnson, does it mean your answer now, and you're not recalling, does it mean no one in your team ever said to you, but this is the wrong Section 27? Back then, and when you went to Ad Hoc and came back, and as you are before us, and as Mr. Parayachi was testifying, does it mean of your entire team, there isn't a single person that said, hang on, we actually had a different Section 27, what happened to that?
No, Commissioner.
No one has ever said
No.
that. Thank you.
I do recall what Mr. Padiachi said about when he had access, but I have no recollection of anyone telling me that I'm looking at the wrong document.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioners. I recall, and I speak under correction, you did not have the Section 27 affidavit when you appeared before Ad Hoc. And I think members of Parliament engaged you on the Section 27 affidavit. And if memory serves me well, you parted company on the basis that you'll be providing the Ad Hoc Committee with a copy after you had concluded your testimony. Do I remember well?
I must just go back into the record. I do recall saying I will apply my mind on whether or not we can give them the Section 27. I must just go back. If I said we were going to give it to them, or did I say that we...
They asked you if it's a public document, and you said it's not a public document. And then they asked, can we have it? You said, I don't have it. I will revert.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Banda. But I know that we did not make it available. From what I recall, I know that we didn't make it available, Commissioner.
Why not?
Because it formed,
Sorry, it was central to the Ad Hoc inquiry. And why didn't you avail it?
because it formed part of our criminal investigations.
But you availed it to this commission. It still forms part of the very investigations. On what basis do you draw a distinction?
I understand. I see the work of this commission and its terms of reference somewhat different from the Ad Hoc Committee. And here the rules are somewhat different. And not disclosing is not an option, but you are able to disclose, and perhaps, as we have been allowed in some instances, commissioners, to indicate that the disclosure is also made on the basis of confidentiality for certain reasons. This commission allows us that, and it is on the basis of it having been part of a criminal investigation. and not wanting to give it to them.
Okay, we will look through the transcript to remind ourselves where you landed. I hadn't marked it because my understanding was that you had undertaken to provide a copy to Ad Hoc, but you say you had only undertaken to apply your mind to whether or not you can make same available. I'll have to check on that. I don't have a direct
Just that's
reference
my
at the moment.
recollection.
So, once again, I invite us to accept as correct the facts as we understand them, and of course, subject to other facts coming to light to contradict what we know.
Mr. Lo, can I just ask
Yes.
a question? Sorry. You've explained the process, how it works. You say there will be, in this case, there would have been Ms. Ramsame, Mr. Perumal, and Mr. Rapesu as a team, because no one consults alone with a witness, your methods of working. So they would have been together and they would have produced a single statement. Now, if what they say is true, that the only statements that were taken in the presence of all three and the witness are those commissioned
By Rapesu.
by Rapesu. It would mean, what does it mean about the standing of the statements that were taken by Mr. Perumal outside of your way of doing things, but also without the others? What would be their standing?
And it also raises a bigger conundrum because they dated for the same date when he is supposed to have taken them with that team. So it raises its own legal and ethical challenges about why a separate set of statements needed to be taken. They went together for the purpose of taking the statements. And what did in fact happen is Advocate Ramsamy had made extensive notes out of the Section 27, and having read the inadequate, lack of A1s. So she had categorized the questions around groupings of matters to be looked at, aspects to be canvassed with Mr. Adams, so that when they went there, it was a structured approach. So the team should have followed that approach. And if either Mr. Rapesu or Chief Perumal felt that, wait, there's something else still to be dealt with on an aspect, it should have been dealt with all at the same time. If there was a need to, it should have been captured in one document and then commissioned, and then we move on to the next, and so on and so on.
Okay, let me put it this way to you. What I'm trying to get your comment on is, if the three of them together produced the supplementary statements, what has been labeled supplementary statements, the three of them, and then Mr. Perumal, Chief Perumal, behind their backs, because there's no better way of saying this, behind their backs he goes and he decides to write his own statement that he commissions without the other two knowing, and he gets Mr. Adams to depose. Let's assume for now that it is in fact Mr. Adams who deposes, who becomes a deponent, because on these facts and the mess that has happened here, it seems to me it's not inconceivable that Mr. Adams could turn around and say, but I don't know anything about that, which you say Perumal signed, commissioned. If it turns out that Chief Perumal went and did his own thing, wherever and however, surely the official statement of IDEC would be that which was done by the three of them together and deposed to by Rapesu. Is that a fair?
It's a fair assessment.
It's a fair assessment and proposition to make, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, on that, if in fact, as we know it has happened in the Mukwele matter, if the docket that is before the court and that is disclosed to the accused, and that is the basis for the warrants that were obtained for instituting for the charges, it is in fact Perumal's questionable statements, not the ones that were properly taken. That would amount to. It seems to me that would have amounted to defeating the ends of justice, lying to the court, lying to you, misleading everyone that is involved with this, and failure to disclose the true contents of the docket. Am I correct in all of that? I'm assuming Perumals are in fact a manufactured statement that is being used.
Correct.
That would be correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
and that would undermine the prosecution itself, right? The entire prosecution, because it's based on A1 statements that are questionable, as in they've been made up by Chief Perumal, whether with or without Mr. Adams, but they're not an official record of the IDEC.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And